Obviously, Christine, your name is synonymous with Playboy, but right now, in the last few years, you have become chairperson of Canyon Ranch. When I think about what Canyon Ranch has done, it's sort of changed the travel business for women. Before we had Canyon Ranch, men were taking ski trips, golf trips, fishing trips. Women weren't. What is it saying about women being independent? What does it say about their discretionary income?
Well, I think you're right. When Canyon Ranch started in 1979, it was a trailblazer in many regards. First of all, the whole idea of a destination, healthy vacation, but also a place where women could go. And one of the most popular ways that women go there are in groups or mother-daughter gatherings. I took a group of corporate women who are part of Women Corporate Directors, and we did a mix of Canyon Ranch, access to practitioners around healthy living, and our own meetings about getting more women on boards. And it is true that it is both about taking power over your own health, but also having the discretionary income to say, I need to do this for myself.
And do you think in the last 10 years there has been a shift? More women have said, I have the money, I'm going to make the time, I'm going to do this for myself? Because in the 1970s, 1980s, we didn't see it happening.
I do think so, although there is still that pressure that women as the ultimate multitaskers feel to do it all, and therefore the need to actually decompress. So I think we always feel a little guilty about taking time for ourselves, and yet whether it's from the perspective of being a mother and being the doctor mom in the family and knowing that it starts with taking care of yourself, or whether it's from the point of view of making sure that you're in touch with what are the newest trends and what's most reliable about health and wellness, women are really the gatekeepers.
How about for you? What prompted you to take the leap? You sat on top of Hefner Enterprises as the CEO for a number of years. You couldn't have gotten any higher. Your name is synonymous with a global brand, and you walked away from that brand. Why?
Well, I was told when I was leaving that I had been the longest-serving female CEO of a New York Stock Exchange company because I did it for 20 years. And my immediate reaction was, oh, that just means I did it too long. It's a high-stress job, and I felt I had done a great job of building the brand globally, taking us onto the web, taking us into mobile. And I had always wanted to do something else at some point in my life. And it seemed with the election of President Obama, there was a sort of sense of change in the air. You know, kind of if not now, when.
Was it hard for you to make that branding transition? Many people look at Playboy clearly as a company that involves women, but many would say it exploits women, and now you're in a business that absolutely empowers them. Are we looking at Playboy the wrong way?
Well, I was very proud of the fact that over 40% of my executives when I left were women, that whether it was women who wrote for the magazine or the fact that 80% of our licensed billion-dollar business when I left was made up of apparel and accessories sold to women. I think it was more a lifestyle brand than its origins as a men's magazine. But there are certain similarities, oddly, between the two. They really were trailblazers in their own way. They were and are lifestyle brands that kind of created categories, strong founders actively involved, real mission-driven organizations with an enormous sense of pride and a kind of family culture. So I had been on the board of Canyon Ranch for a dozen years and knew the people, but I think my time at Playboy actually helped me, because what I'm doing for Canyon Ranch is really extending the brand and content across media platforms and then doing business partnerships to do things like Canyon Ranch meals delivered at home. So it's similar but different.
How are you extending that Canyon Ranch brand? As you said, meals at home. People think of Canyon Ranch as a destination. They don't think of it as something to have in their home or to take with them. How are you changing that brand?
Well, and you're absolutely right. It hasn't been heretofore something that you could take home. So what we're trying to do is put the right partnerships together, build out a robust website, offer personal coaching online that takes the Canyon Ranch approach, whether it's to healthy weight or stress, and makes it accessible to people in home, taking things like our food program and making that accessible at home so that people who aspire to Canyon Ranch and haven't had the chance to go can benefit from the extraordinary knowledge of the doctors and nurses and nutritionists and exercise physiologists.
To build out, sometimes you have to shut down. What was the experience like for you when you were at Playboy and you said, it's time for us to shut down these Playboy clubs? How do you continue to build out a brand and make it bigger while saying, I need to cut my losses in certain areas?
Well, I've always believed actually generally in business that the things you choose not to do, whether that means closing something down or not going down a certain path, are probably even more important than the things you choose to do. They're just less visible to, you know, the media and to the consuming public. So we were pretty rigorous about saying, what do we want the brand to represent? Where is the intersection of the brand and business opportunities? And you're quite right, a lot of the 80s was made up of getting out of, you know, the book club business and the limousine business and the club business and the modeling agency business in order to focus on multimedia and licensing.
And for you, as you're considering for Canyon Ranch the businesses you want to be in, one of the approaches in having Canyon Ranch at home is that because you're saying some people in this economy simply can't afford to have the Canyon Ranch experience, so I want to change my brand to attract more people of a different price point.
I wouldn't say it's about changing the brand. I would say it's about going from a luxury brand to a premium brand, or as the ranch itself would say, sort of democratizing the brand, because it is an expensive vacation as a result of the high-touch number of experts that you get to have access to when you're there, and yet the ideas and the power of Canyon Ranch to give you the tools and inspiration to lead a healthier life, that can and now will be much more accessible.